What were the
Unfortunately,
key takeaways?
no added value there. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Mark really tried hard to kind of remain on good corporate PR, like excellent training,
Yeah,
literally.
exactly.
Like, pretty much every single question was completely deflected. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah. The guy from the YouTube channel, he asked something, and then Mark was like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and answered nothing.
This is No Bullshit Gaming Podcast, 2.5 Gamers, sharing actionable insights, dropping knowledge from our day-to-day user acquisition, game design, and ad monetization jobs. We are definitely not discussing the latest industry news, but having so much fun. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously.
Never mind. Welcome everybody.
Okay.
My name is Matej Lancaric.
I'm Felix
and
Braberg.
I'm Jakub Remia.
We are your hosts today. Hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome to what we all hope is the third and final installment in the hectic drama that has been the Unity pricing update.
Yes, I
In
hope
short
this is the
summary-
last. This is the
Yeah, I
last.
really hope so. I have a feeling it won't, but I really hope it will.
Yeah, of course,
But in short summary, not to bore our listeners, 2 weeks ago, Unity changed their pricing structure, angering the whole industry. This in turn forced developers last week to unite and boycott Unity and the Iron Source monetization SDK. Yesterday, Unity rolled back on their pricing update and apologized. The apology came in the form of a written blog from President of Create, Mark Whitten, who started off his blog post with like a South Park style, like "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Ah,
And the main takeaways
by the
from
way,
the blog.
the it's gonna be showing around.
Yeah. Okay,
South
good.
Park.
We're sorry.
We are
The main
sorry.
takeaways from the blog post were that, in summary, Unity Personal Plan will remain free. There will be no runtime fee for games built on Unity Personal. They will be increasing the cap from 100,000 to 200,000. And then they will also remove the requirement to use made with a Unity splash screen.
By the way, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it's not, does anyone care about this like splash screen?
Peas like potatoes,
okay.
that no one
Okay.
cares, right? Okay, so no game with less than 1 million in trailing 12-month revenue will be subject to the fee. Okay. And for games that are subject to the runtime fee, basically you have the choice of either a 2.5% revenue share. That's calculated on the number of new people engaging with your game each month. And basically, the numbers are always self-reported. And well, for me, what's the most interesting thing here is that the apology came from the president of Create and not the CEO. And my taking from this is that either it was his idea to begin with, or basically John Ricciletto has damaged his reputation enough and doesn't want to roll back. Like,
Oh,
what do you
he's
guys
fucked
think?
up. God, please.
Anyway, this blog post was followed up with an open invitation to join a Fireside chat that was held yesterday, which the both of you watched, correct?
Yeah.
That's fucking terrible.
Unfortunately,
What were the key takeaways?
no added value there. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Mark really tried hard to kind of remain on good corporate PR, like excellent training,
Yeah,
literally.
exactly.
Like, pretty much every single question was completely deflected. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah. The guy from the YouTube channel, he asked something, and then Mark was like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and answered nothing. I was like,
But like some of those
okay.
questions he wouldn't answer, even if he was forced to. Like did you see a drop in your whatever clients or something, or like how do you, or didn't you anticipate the backlash, or like some of those kind of very obvious ones. So it was
But honestly, like, was this a fireside chat or just like covering ass type of PR moment?
This was even worse than when Diablo developers came on that Fireside chat because they screw up the season. Literally, that was
dude.
better.
No, seriously, he asked like few questions, and it was just like so bad. I didn't feel he actually answered anything.
Yeah, that's
But how
the main
happy
point.
are you that you were not Mark yesterday during that Fireside chat? I would have
No,
hated doing that.
Honestly, like that Fireside chat was like a PR stunt. Seriously, like it wasn't
No new edit, no
anything
new information.
close to like asking like very tough questions. It was like, well, okay, well, I thought, we are a big company. It will take some time to actually blah, blah, blah.
And it's PR
Seriously?
exercise, unfortunately. Like even if you go to Twitter or like X, how it's called now, and to the post there's like Unity support people answering the questions of some people there. That was even more informative than what was the whole hour fireside chat there. Like, actually, they clarified something there, I think. But still, like it's kind of vague in some things. Like there's a lot of these kind of like people were posting in the chat on the fireside chat like, trust me bro, 2023. This whole thing. Trust me bro, we're not gonna change the terms again. Pray that we don't do it again.
So it's gonna happen. No.
How what's the official response from all this then, from the fireside chat and the updated blog? Like
everybody's fucking angry.
Yeah, everybody's angry. It's like literally the Darth Vader scene from Star Wars. Like, I have altered the deal, pray that I don't alter it anymore. It's the same. Like, yeah, people.
Well, the thing is, like, they apologized like multiple times. Yes, okay, they fucked up. They said it on the fireside chat. Yes, but honestly,
the trust is broken, huh?
Yeah, that like exactly. Everybody's fucking angry about like what they did, and like nobody's trusting them not to do it again.
Yeah, let's talk maybe about a little bit of facts what actually changed here, so people know.
Yeah.
What's the deal is about? Like, the actual points there. Want to go through them, Felix?
Now you go.
Oh, yeah, go. Okay. So the Unity personal plan was added there because it was taken out before completely. Yeah. So I think this is a kind of push towards silencing the indie community, that they are kind of allowed to live and not really kind of do much anger there or something like that.
Allowed to live.
They're vocal. Like they're vocal.
They're the most
like,
vocal, I would say. Like,
the thing is, if this like all revolt didn't happen, they would just go with whatever they just said.
Yeah. That's
the worst part.
But even the thing that I don't think so. It changed that much, to be honest. Like, it's not really like 180% degree reverse here. It's just kind of some things were ironed out in a way that like kind of suits them. Because then the other thing that was added, of course, is a 2.5% rev share now, which is something to kind of cap the overall monthly runtime fee, so it wouldn't bankrupt you if you're a high volume install game, if I understand correctly. This is all it is about.
Maybe
it's ridiculous that we're having this discussion anyway.
This is all about, is it? Because they finally this time they were able to put the calculator themselves on the site, not like before.
So you don't have to rely on a third party.
Like not the Excel sheets now.
But like the thing is, what the fuck does it mean, self-reported installs?
Yeah, because I'm just like,
nobody knows. It's not written
everyone's
anywhere.
Going to be really, really adamant that they want to help out Unity get paid as well. So it's
seriously, like it's not written anywhere. Like, how can you?
Let me just go straight with the example.
Sorry.
So there's the calculator. I just punched in the numbers that we thought about.
Share screen.
My perfect hotel that we covered last week. Yeah, well, why not?
My perfect hotel, like okay,
perfect.
We're gonna go there. But
so
I was looking into the number of impressions that the change was like 100% after they take out the Unity, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So
it is so funny.
There's like three things that you need to click here when it finally loads, hopefully. Where there's like, my game exceeds $1 million USD gross revenue trailing last 12 months. My game has over 1 million initial engagements. By the way, they fucking completely stopped using the word installs. It's now called engagements. That's the new mantra. Like, they're afraid. Just tell installs and they're scared.
No, of course. Like, because the guy on the fireside, he said, "Oh wow, engagement all the fucking time."
Like, they pretty much banned the word install for now, like the whole company policy, like,
because they don't know how to track installs.
Yeah. So down there called engagement.
They don't fucking
altered gameplay. Man, I'm already seeing it.
Come on, finish the example. I want to see. Okay, come on.
My game has over 1 million initial engagements live to date. My game is created in 2023 LTS release or later. And this is really important thing. We haven't talked about it yet, but this is the other loophole that people are probably going to use now, because they said that only No games
Yes.
created with any currently supported versions will be impacted by the runtime fee until they update to the pretty much new engine version that will be released somewhere next year. And by the looks of it, it seems people are kind of hoping that they can just stay for a long time on the old engine version and be exempted out of this whole fee thing.
That's very naive.
Yeah, which is very naive. We'll get
that's
back
not
to the
gonna happen.
shitstorm
But-
next year, pretty much.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Because they said that, I think somewhere it was written that the engine versions have like 2 years of support and updates, and after that they're dead, and you need to move on further. So this effectively puts this whole thing up to like 2025, like half of 2020. That's it. That's the time that Godot currently has to kind of do something with it. So that's my guess. Anyway, so we assume that this is there, and then we estimate monthly revenue. By the way, include all revenue generated from retail sales, in-app purchases, subscription fees, web payments, offline payments, and ad-based revenue. So everything.
And that's net, right? That's everything. 30% and everything, or
it's gross.
Gross, I think it's gross.
Yeah.
And then estimated monthly initial engagement. So yeah, we talk about around 8 million a month for my perfect hotel, and then we see like 13 million downloads or something like that per month.
Yes, 13 million downloads.
So which estimates the monthly runtime fee at 141 k and 5. Yeah. So pretty much literally like 150,000 or 1.77% of the revenue, which is on the enterprise version. If we would go to Pro, it kind of goes a little bit higher regarding the percent, blah, blah, blah. Mathematics, whatever. So, and this is paid monthly.
A month. That's like 10 amazing developers, like the best. Like,
yeah. So, yeah. That's gonna be pretty interesting. Like my guess is that everybody on the hyper casual hybrid side is just kind of scrambling away from this, because this is what like.
What's the united collective of game developers that rose up last week? What are they saying about this?
Oh yeah, so there's already a reaction from that group, because it already has more than I think over 1,000 signatures there.
Yeah, I think 1,000.
Yeah.
It was 800, but now it's
1,053, 25+ billion total game installs, or whatever metric you have there. There's pretty much all the all the high volume install games people, I would say.
But not only high volume, it became like a lot of other developers as well.
Yeah, so I guess all the indies sign it in a way.
What are they saying?
So they said that there's a statement.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Collective response to Unity's recent decision. Main problem is that an update to Unity runtime fee doesn't solve its fundamental issue, its existential impact on the game dev community. Building a games business while paying runtime fees, even with its proposed revenue cap, is not an option, and many developers will use the old version of Unity engine to avoid that fee. That's what we talked before. That's pretty much how people will get the leeway on their life until 2025, because they stay on the old version of Unity. The latest announcement shows again that the game developer community has no choice but to explore and focus on other engines. Sadly, Unity is also unwilling to openly communicate with its community in a true dialogue to find common ground and workable solutions. Instead, it chooses again to inform its community of its changes as a fact. The market rules are simple. Everyone prefers to do business with partners whose changes in terms and conditions are transparent and consider developers' interests. This is why the community will not rely on Unity in long run and already started migrating to other engines, as United Game Devs will focus on fostering.
Can I throw up already?
Investing in open source engines.
Jesus Christ! Just shut up. Seriously.
So that's that. Yeah. I think the
thing is, like, this is a sign from the developers that basically they're clever enough to realize that, at some point they will be forced to update the engine, and then they will be subject to the runtime fee. Like, shame on you, right? Now it's shame on you, because they're going to update it at some point. You're an idiot if you think they're not going to update it at some point in the next 2 years.
For me, this is the biggest change that's not really like that kind of obvious in the whole thing, that we just gave you 3 more years basically on the old version of Unity. But keep in mind that like being on an obsolete version of Unity and not getting the new updates and keeping with the market is kind of shit anyway.
You know what I just realized? That means that probably in 2 to 3 years, the biggest hyper-casual studio in the world will be Supersonic.
No, most probably, yes.
Why?
Why? Because it's
Unity? They won't be subject to the runtime fee?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Why do you think that they won't be?
Why do you keep forgetting that Supersonic is owned by Iron
I'm not
Source?
saying
That's the big question.
Man, what I'm saying is, why do you underestimate all the other people not banding together and having like a engine that can?
Okay, fair. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
Because
2
these
years,
games
you're
are
right,
not
yeah.
that complex, man. It's not 3D. It's not like whatever
it's
photoreal
too-
Don't be
stuff.
such a game designer. Don't be such a game designer. They're complicated.
Don't be such an
Guys.
ignorant person.
Exactly. It's not the game design. It's like trying to solve the problem, at least.
Okay. Anyway, regarding the boycott, so also the boycott, this united group of game developers, they also started turning off the Unity and Iron Source SDK. And we've actually been given some pretty interesting information from our friend Kaizen, the self-serve DSPs. And basically,
amazing information. Kaizen, thank you very much for sharing this.
Yeah. Can you share the image? So this is an image of the amount of bid requests coming from the Unity exchange. So it's the closest thing we have to a proxy of how large Unity is in terms of ads shown and ad requested. So you can see some of the biggest worlds in the pubs here on the list and how many bid requests they were getting on the 4th of September compared to the 18th of September when the boycott started. And there's some pretty big companies, like Say Games is down 99.92%.
Man, I was
Blind
looking.
Studios 99.
I was looking into the Excel sheet, and I was like, "My perfect hotel minus 100%." I was like, "Okay."
Anyway, if you're listening to this, just pop up the video and just have a look. But there's some pretty big numbers. Like everyone's down like either 50% or 99%. On Unity. And I also asked Kaizen to pull some overall like metadata overall on the Unity exchange. So normally on a given day, they see about 17 to 20 billion bid requests from Unity exchange per day. On the 18th, when they pulled the numbers for me, they saw around 14 billion bid requests, which means that the boycott could have decreased the Unity network by about 30%. So this is a bit of a simplified assumption because it doesn't take into some account some DSP terminology stuff that is swings and But anyway, this is the closest estimate we're probably going to get unless you're working inside of Unity. So 30%, that could be as big a number as how much is decreased. But before they actually backtracked, right? This boycott had really started to gain a lot of momentum, a lot of signatures, and it wouldn't have surprised me if probably Unity network could have halved if this went on for another week. Is there anything you've noticed on the UA front as well, Matej?
Honestly, not that much on the UA front, no. But I heard from a few of these companies that actually signed this open letter that they were actually banned from running UA on Unity and Iron Source. And I was like, what the fuck? Seriously?
Yeah,
so
I've heard that too. It's whoa.
It's just like, wow.
Sorry for non-UA people. So this basically means that people are throwing away Unity mediation from their waterfall, the graph that I'm looking at. Which
No, not mediation, the network.
Network. Okay, so network is taken out. That means that 100% drop. That's easy. It's out of the And then the numbers that you said is what from 70 bill to 14 bill.
So it's the amount of bid requests that Kaizen, which is a self-serve DSP, sees on their DSP from Unity every day. So this can go up and down for many reasons. Unity can also throttle this. So it's not clear 100% this is what's happened.
But
it's the closest thing as us from the outside can get to indicate how much the Unity network decreased in size by. So I would say these numbers looks like it's decreased by about 30%. That's probably not the truth, but it's the closest thing we'll get by not being inside of Unity.
I would say it's 30 to 40% for sure.
70 to 14?
17.
17, okay. It's
to 40, not 17.
70 to 14. Maybe I have the math wrong.
No. So they see 17 to 20 billion bid requests a day, and now they see around 14.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is everyone who signed up on this list, they get banned from doing UA on Unity. I was not expecting that to happen. It's just whoa.
But isn't it Unity shooting themselves in the foot?
No, well, look, it's you fuck us, we fuck you. Well, but then it's basically shooting themselves in the foot. Definitely.
Okay.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because like what happens is your inventory is getting lower, like smaller, basically, and then you actually ban the other advertisers that can actually bid on the small inventory. And it's like, okay, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're not going to make any friends. What's the Unity share price saying on this? Because it was
I
released.
was looking.
There was still half a trading day left.
I
right?
was looking at it from the day of release. The share price went down from 38.97 to 31.61. So like 18.9% decrease, like 20% decrease, by the way. So around that. But yeah, like if you look at the stock overall, like pretty much from the usual bull market that every tech stock kind of collapsed in November 2021, they haven't recovered. That's like normal. And my guess is that we see more bloodbath after their quarterly earnings after this quarter, when this whole kind of battle happened. So that will be when like this was the
a week.
Oh, quarter.
Yeah, a week or two, a couple weeks.
A couple weeks. Okay.
I mean, we'll see it at the tail end of Q3, right? So when they release Q3 numbers, which is going to be in a couple of weeks, that's when you'll see it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's there. Because so I think there was an update onto FAQ, or was there that
there was
so the credits thing. I want to get there. So it still works, or is still mentioned on their website that still, like, if you use the Unity other services level play, you're gonna get rid of the runtime fees.
We talked about the custom deals, and suddenly they appeared in the FAQ. I don't know, maybe the 40% of the Unity.com traffic that we had for the first episode was actually true. But anyway, they said that developers and publishers adopting Unity services beyond the editor, which is Unity games serving hosting, Vivox, no idea what it is, level play, obviously, and then other Unity cloud services may be eligible for credits for your runtime fee. Well, we'll see.
So basically what they really updated
with... Wait. In the case is the game publishers may want partnership structures that more specifically meet their development needs.
High volume games.
Please contact your Unity representative. So, like they say, well, we don't do custom deals, but if
we
you
can
want,
work it out.
We might. Yeah, we might. Jesus fucking Christ.
The thing is the limits as well, for sure, if you want to get exempt from these credits, right? Like, and get credits, right? You probably need to earn such really big amounts that probably is not even attainable for most companies anyway.
Thing is, nobody knows like what the credit kind of like amount is, and still is a blur.
Couple of milli a month.
Honestly, like if you think about it in like the entrepreneurship kind of way, they need to give you deals or like credits based on your revenue. Doesn't make any other sense, because they said in the Fireside chat as well, like the guy asked like, why the fuck you even like did this, like the price change? And he was like, well, because we need to run a sustainable business. And he repeated that exact sentence like 10 times during the Fireside chat. We need to run a sustainable business,
which is fair enough, and I get it.
Fair enough.
They should have thought about this 10 years ago, and then they wouldn't be in an issue. Like, it's their fault.
Like, you don't need to even think about it like 10 years ago. Like, you can think about it like two weeks ago. You just need to talk to your customers. And he said, oh, well, we were talking to a big clients, small clients, independent developers. And I was like, I don't buy that
about
at
this
all.
thing.
I don't buy that at all. Like, it's fucking bullshit. If you really talk to your customers, then you wouldn't really like release this type of deal to anyone.
All right, future predictions. What do you think happens to Unity 3 years down the line?
So I think Edward continues. Like, this is not over, definitely, from like hybrid, hyper casual people and Applavin and all these other things, like we saw with the Kaizen report. So this is still on table, and I guess we'll just get worse as we go. Other engines, like I've seen already, like let's say, guys from Terraria pledge like 200k donations for open source stuff, and like this will just increase these kind of other open source engines initiatives to kind of get a reliable alternative at some point. Not now, but like 2025 is kind of a long time to get there. Godot already like announced they're going to have an asset store. We've seen like hiring spree from MiHoYo or like Hoyoverse hiring engine developers and stuff like that. So yeah, the push will continue definitely, because I don't think so. Like, yeah, this maybe helped to some degree, but the trust is still broken. Like, it didn't they didn't put in any policy about
you can say sorry forever.
Yeah, of course.
Just fucking.
So
the main thing is they wouldn't backtrack any of this fee if
the developers didn't push back. Yeah,
exactly. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
Yeah. So that continues. As I said, I think the main kind of a way to go forward now for people is that if your game don't really need advanced features that these other engine builds will have, you will pretty much stay on the old one until 2025, if I get it right. Or if at some point Unity doesn't come back and forces you to do it, because this kind of just like kicks the can down the road, because we will be okay, we'll like leave you for 2025 exactly. Support. But what happens if next year they said, like, we're sorry, but you need to update because something happens?
Honestly, like they're a publicly traded company, right? So you always can assume what they will do will always be the interest of like increasing share price. So in 2 years, they will force people to move on and be face to face with fees. 100%.
Every question and every answer was, we need to build a sustainable company.
Yes, but why do you even think
this is it?
Why do you even think it will be like 2 years? Why don't you think already next year they're gonna force everybody to go there?
Next year.
Could be
like very big risk.
Who's bearing them from doing it? Like just next year they force like bam.
If I'm a Unity shareholder, I'd want them to do it.
He basically said like, we are actually changing the terms of service like every year. That's what he said on the Fireside chat. And like, how the fuck you can even work with this?
Yeah, like
you can't be
typical Darth Vader stuff, man. Like I altered the deal. Pray that I don't alter it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. And on that note,
thank you very much for listening.
Yeah. See you on the next one. Hopefully
not that soon.
Hopefully this is the last one.
Yeah. Thank you, Unity. By the way, did a very good job. Next time you want to just talk PR shit, just come to us. That Fireside chat was like fucking terrible, because it only answered your question, not.
But man, honestly, what we would do even if he would be on our podcast, like he would just deflect with corporate shield all the way, like all the time.
I don't blame him.
Honestly, you always ask the question, but if someone doesn't answer, you ask again.
Yeah, I know, but you can then spend the whole podcast just asking the same question.
Yeah, until he replies or he answers. I don't fucking care. That's what it should be about. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I want to go back to my weekend.
Yes. Thank you very much.
See you around. Bye.
Fucking Saturday.
Ciao.
Ciao. See you next time. Bye.